All right, let's talk about a book that's completely shaken up how millions of people see money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're going to cut through all the noise and focus on the one single rule that the author says is the absolute key to building real, lasting wealth. So let's just start with a really big question. What if the most common advice you've heard your entire life about money is, well, what if it's actually designed to keep you poor? It's a wild thought, right? But the book's whole argument is that the stuff we're all taught, go to school, get a good job, save your money, is basically a trap. It keeps us on a hamster wheel, running hard, but not actually getting anywhere financially. And the way he explains this is through a really simple but powerful story, the tale of his two dads. First, you've got his poor dad, who was actually his real dad. This guy was brilliant, super educated, the head of education for the entire state of Hawaii. But even with a great paycheck, he was always stressed about bills. Then you have his rich dad. This was his best friend's dad. This guy dropped out of school in the 8th grade and somehow became one of the richest men in Hawaii. So what was the difference? How did that happen? That's the core question we're diving into. And this quote right here, this is it. This is the absolute heart of the whole idea. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Think about that. Poor dad's advice was all about climbing the corporate ladder. But rich dad's advice? It was to own the ladder itself. It's a total mind flip. It's not about working harder, it's about what you're working for. Are you just trading hours of your life for a paycheck, or are you building something that pays you while you sleep? So, what was the secret sauce? I mean, how could two smart guys, both earning good money, end up in completely different financial universes? Well, according to the book, it all boiled down to one single, incredibly simple rule that Rich Dad shared. And there it is. That's it. That's the whole rule. I know what you're thinking. It seems way too simple, right? Know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. But the argument is that really getting the difference, like deep in your bones, is the absolute bedrock of building wealth. And honestly, most people never really learn it. So let's break it down right now.
Okay, so forget all those complicated definitions from accounting class. In the world of Rich Dad, it's dead simple. An asset, it's anything that puts money in your pocket, period. That's it. Think of it like a little goose that lays golden eggs, or a tree that grows money. It's something you own that just keeps feeding you cash, whether you're working or not.
And a liability? Well, it's the exact opposite. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. It's that hungry monster you have to feed every single month with your paycheck. It's a constant drain. So the big question isn't what do you own? The real question is which way is the money flowing? Is it flowing to you or away from you? Okay, let's get real with some examples. In the asset column, we're talking about things like a rental property that pays you every month, or stocks that give you dividends. Stuff that generates income. Now, look at the liability column. The mortgage, the car loan, credit card debt, these are all things that demand your money. The secret is that the rich focus all their energy on buying things from the asset column. Most other people, they fill their lives with things from the liability column. It's really that straightforward.
And this is where things get a little spicy. It's probably the most controversial idea in the whole book. We are all taught that our house is our biggest asset, right? But Rich Dad says, hold on a second. If your house is taking money out of your pocket every single month for the mortgage, for taxes, for insurance, for repairs, how is it an asset? If it's not putting money in your pocket, then by his simple definition, it's actually a liability. Now, a house you rent out to someone else and make a profit on, that's an asset. See the difference?
So how does this whole asset versus liability thing actually work in the real world? Well, it all comes down to one thing. You just have to follow the cash flow. It's like being a detective for your own money. And when you do, you can literally see the map of why the rich get richer. Okay, so here's the story for most people, what the book calls the rat race. It goes like this. Step 1, you work hard, you get a paycheck. Awesome. But then step 2, that money immediately flies out the door to feed all your liabilities. The mortgage, the car, the credit cards. Which leads to step 3, there's nothing left over, so you have to go back to work to get another paycheck, and the cycle just repeats forever. But the wealthy, they break the cycle. They take their income and buy assets first. And those assets start generating more income, which they use to buy more assets. It becomes this amazing, powerful loop that builds on itself. And this is the end result of that loop. Take a look. For most people, almost every single dollar they make comes from their job. Their paycheck is their income. But for the wealthy, it's a totally different picture. A huge chunk of their money, sometimes the vast majority, comes from their investments, from their asset column. Their job becomes just one piece of a much bigger financial engine. They've built systems to make money for them, so they're not chained to a paycheck. Okay, that's the big idea. It's simple, but it's powerful. But the real question is, what do you do with this information? How do you actually apply it to your own life? Well, the good news is the book gives us some really clear, practical habits you can start building today, no matter how much money you're making right now. Here are the first 3 habits to lock in. Number 1, you gotta get financially literate. I'm not talking about a degree in finance, just learning the basic language of money. What's an income statement? What's a balance sheet? Knowing what assets and liabilities are is the first step. Number 2, this is a huge one. Pay yourself first. What does that mean? It means when your paycheck hits your account, the very first person who gets paid is you. You take a piece of it and put it towards an asset. Before you pay your rent, your car, anything. It forces you to prioritize building your wealth. And number 3, another big mindset shift. Mind your own business. So what on earth does mind your own business mean? It's simple. Your profession is your job. It's how you make money to pay the bills. But your business is your asset column. Your business is what you do with the money your profession brings in. So don't just focus on getting a bigger paycheck. Focus on using that paycheck to build your business, that collection of assets that will one day set you free. That's your real ticket to financial independence. So when you boil it all down, it's pretty clear. Getting wealthy isn't really about how big your paycheck is. It's all about what you do with it. Now you know the one simple rule. Buy assets, not liabilities. But that brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it? The how. Where do you even begin? What's the very first asset you should actually go out and buy? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down next time.